welcome to the final episode of After the After Hours with your boy TraderPrad. The final day of this week is tomorrow going to be a free fall Friday. Now get ready for tomorrow. Powell going on the microphone. Powell going on the microphone again. Get ready for tomorrow. So I do have a watch list ready, but if you guys are ready, hit that like and subscribe. Hit that like and subscribe. Thank you guys for all the love. Thank you guys for all the support. This is your boy TraderPrad. But if you guys are ready for this show to get started, why don't we dive into the full screen and hit that like and subscribe. What's up, nerds? How we doing? We're here. We're locked and loaded. Final episode of the week. Who's that? Says. Alright, burping off the bat. Who's this? Or who is this? Says TH. I'm guessing he's talking about the thumbnail. The thumbnail is the CEO of Broadcom, or AVGO. CEO of AVGO Broadcom. Hawk Lee, something like that. I can't remember his name. But okay, where are we? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy TraderPrad. We got the final day of this week coming up tomorrow. Today has been another insane day. Market started off with a good reversal. Looked like we were gonna set up for some sort of a long opportunity, and then shit just hits the fan all of a sudden, and the market just goes all the way back down. Hits 500, but then gets rejected and then pushes right back, and then later on has a pop into view up, and then that pop gets stuffed right back down. So it's just so much bearishness at the moment in the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. I guess I should say mainly the Nasdaq, because the S&P 500, yes, they are also weak along with the other market. But they're compared to the percentages basis, QQQ obviously a little bit weaker than the S&P 500 and the Dow, but overall the trend is to the downside. The trend is weakness, and the market is clearly struggling at the moment. So if you're a bull or if you're a long-term buyer investor, you're not clearly liking the game that's been taking place at the moment. You are potentially waiting for dip buys. You're potentially waiting for market to show some sort of a bottoming out sign so you could get long. But with what we're seeing on a day-to-day action, is just really weak clearly. Victor's in the house. Victor saying, hey Prad, insane day. Yes it was. Hey Victor, thanks Lowe's for your SCREC. What is recommendation? I'm guessing recommendation. Yeah, Zscaler today was, you know, pretty good. It gave you a good long off of 200. I said as long as it stays above 200, it's a good long, and it did give you a good long on the dip above 200. But then later on into like 210 or so, I can't remember if it was 210, it kind of stalled out and then pulled right back down and gave you a good short too if you were looking for that through VWAP. But yeah, good trade over there above 200. Anyways, we'll talk about Zscaler. I think it's on my watch list. If not, then I probably... Actually, no, it's not on my watch list. I did not put it on my watch list. But we have a good watch list ready for tomorrow. Also going to go through my trades on the day. So we'll see what's going on the market on my end. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter or, you know, if some of you might be in a Discord groups with me. So if you are in any of the Discord groups with me, or if you follow me on Twitter, then you kind of know the story already. The story is not good. Today was a full tilt day. So let's go to the screen over here and talk about my full tilt day on the market. Who's this? Pond. What's up, Pond Trading? What's up, Brad? It's been a long time. Hello. I'll be honest, I can't remember the name, but appreciate you showing up, Pond Trading. You dating the auntie girl yet? No. No. All right. 0.7 to the downside today. Actually starting off the day with 0.3 to the downside, and then you know, I realized I was tilting. It started off with me FOMOing on JD because I missed the 44 dip. The 44 dip was actually something I planned with you guys yesterday on stream. So missing that 44 dip, the reason I missed it is because I came in sleepy. I didn't get enough sleep at night, so coming into work without any sleep, and then missing out on an actual clean tape read on JD around 44 to get long off the open. That makes me FOMO a little bit, and I start taking some other really dumb, stupid, absolutely, you know, not even setup based trades. So completely ruined myself over there on the day to start. I thankfully catch myself, take a quick little break, and I come back on the day and I actually catch a trade that turns my day to the green side, so that's good. But then right after that, I quickly go ahead and throw my money right back into the market, and not only do I do that, I turn my day darker to the red side than what it originally was in the open. So that's all it was. My day today overall to the red side. Had a little bit of a clarity moment where I caught myself and I brought myself to the green side, but I let myself go again right after that. So let me talk about some of my trades that actually fucking ruined my day today. Octa. I planned for this with you yesterday, so kind of forced it, I guess, in a way. That short was fine, but adding on that pop was retarded. I took out the size for flat, and I just gave the stop all the way into high a day for that position, so I lose one full unit of risk on that. And that's how I'm starting my day. I didn't even wait for yesterday's high to get tested or a failed high break of yesterday. Why is my dog going crazy? A failed high day break of yesterday, which actually happens. It fails breaks up from yesterday's high, sets up for a little bit of a back and forth around VWAP, and with the weakness in the market, Octa actually breaks down for a clean move to the downside. And it was a trade that I planned for, but I forced it. This is the problem with having an idea and not having a actual patience to wait for a proper setup, or having the patience for or having an actual plan, I want to say. So not having an actual plan here of how I want to trade it, just having a theory that I want to look for the short makes you do stupid shit like this, where you know, you start forcing the trade. Also, you know, FOMO to start the day with, and that kind of bled some money over there. Here's some more money bleeding. MongoDB looking for a short below 200. It does work, but it also immediately snaps back above 200. So boomer ass name, and you know, trying to take a short on this 200 area just didn't work out for me. GG. That's all I could say. In a way, it's like, what are you expecting from this name? But also, my manager was like, I like this trade, so if he liked it, I said, why not? You know, if my manager thinks this is a good trade to be in, why not just be involved in it? So this kind of gave some money back later on in the day. Zscaler, I thought this could be something like SE or Okta on their earnings day 2 moves, but it clearly wasn't, and yeah, didn't really work out the way I wanted this to be. And Zscaler actually set up for a good short back to the downside, but as I said to you guys, look for the long from 200, and that was a pretty good trade. If you listen to your boy TraderPrad, maybe you wouldn't have lost money, TH. I'm joking, Victor, I'm joking. Lunar, LUNR. What a move over here. So landing another rover named Athena on the moon. Last time they were gonna do this, I think a year or 2 ago, they failed to do that successfully, and the stock plummeted to the downside. Today, exact same thing. They landed, but they kind of don't at the same time. So the stock plummets, takes to the downside, immediately recovers as there's some rumors. There was a live stream happening. I was watching the live stream to see if the rover actually landed or not, and then eventually they did not show any pictures, and they cut off the live stream. So the stock, you know, drops off and then consolidates into $11 area, and then later on just immediate smack down to the absolute floor. And right now, if you see, I think the stock is at, well, like $8. So big move to the downside today on LUNR. For sure on the watch list, however, for a trade. I tried to take the short after it halted, unhalted, popped. I looked to see if there was going to be a rejection in this area. Kind of shorted the front side too heavy, too trigger happy on the front side. This one I'm okay with. All of this I'm not okay with, because this is kind of waiting for the backside and taking the backside entry, but then taking the front side chips and losses is just unnecessary, just not needed. So this was you know, some bad trading from me today. MRVL, so this one, I guess you could say there was a little bit of a setup over here. Stock plummeted first off the open. It's already down big time after reporting, what, 70% growth, if I remember correctly. Plummeted first off the open, recovered, stayed above VWAP on every single pushback, and then tried to take out the high a day, pulled back from the high a day, but then immediately popped back, and that got slammed back, and then it started trying to hold this area one more time. So I'm thinking, hey, you know, there's like buyers here clearly defending this name, and if the market actually wants to go to the upside, which it was at that moment, you got some opportunities over here to catch a ride. So I actually got long. My stop was below VWAP, but after it actually went to VWAP and bounced, I kind of got scared and got out for, you know, a flat trade and a little bit of a loser. Later on, the stock goes to high it did, then I punch back in. Then I remember something that my manager says: if you're going to punch out from the trade here, don't get back in, because it doesn't make sense. So I as soon as I remember that, I just, you know, I said, screw it, I'm just gonna punch out over here. It doesn't make sense. Let me just take that quick little flat trade, take that loss, and move on. JD, quick little scalp. I guess you could say it was a backside scalp, somewhat of a backside scalp. Not really a backside scalp, because not really a backside. See, I'm still yawning right now. I'm still tired. I'm lacking sleep from last night, and it's been up for too long, and I'm just tired, absolutely exhausted. Backside scalp, somewhat of a backside scalp, at least I think it is. but not really. I think S&B Capital wouldn't say that this is the backside scalp. Trying to take this long, risk this low, gives you a quick little scalp off of that momentum, push back up. But the seller in this area on JD still prominent and very much aggressive. So selling the stock right back to the south side, actually taking it below 44 on that run to the south side on JD. So a little bit of a negative move, sadly. After initially having a good run up to the 40, through the run down to 44 and a pop from 44. So JD, I bet, forced this trade a little bit over there. This one was, I think my manager said he likes the long. I think, you know, the market popped pretty drastically. Some Trump conversations were happening at this time of day. Some Trump conversations, meeting or a live, whatever was happening around this time of the day. Some comments were being thrown around, tariffs and so on. Market popped. So on the pullback and what seemed to look like a higher low, I went long and I gave it a little bit of an extra risk. Didn't work out. Just very choppy market, very back and forth, kangaroo market, baby. Yeah, taking a loss. Going long below VWAP, I guess that's a problem right there, right? Don't go long below VWAP. Very simple logic. Stay above VWAP for the long and stay below VWAP for the short. Look at GV, for example. Stay below VWAP. VWAP's over here. Stay below VWAP for the short. Stock I actually missed the $7 area. I was trying to get short into the $7 area, but I was too busy trading dumbass names across the day, off the open at least, such as Okta and maybe some other bullshit name I can't even remember. But missing out the $7 short, which is the plan that I originally had to look out for. And then you get a nice little flush off of that reject in the pre-market high area. Stock halts to the downside, opens off a halt on the pop. You get a nice little fill in this boxy zone, and then if you actually draw a trend line, nice little breakdown of that trend line is where you can really hammer that trade for size. I didn't do that. You know, that should have been where I really go to full size, because often what you see is the stock pushes to VWAP and scares the short sellers out a little bit and then flushes to the downside. So I didn't really do that today. Instead, I just went full size over here, and in my favor, it didn't do that pop and a shake right back to the downside. So thankfully, it didn't shake me out. But had it done that, I would have easily possibly seen a quick little loser over here, and then me having to fight to get back into that trade. So I'll say I got lucky over here. You know, you gotta know where you got lucky. You just gotta understand when you get lucky sometimes. But good trade at the end of the day, and I managed it really well, taking my measured move targets, and then using my exit systems also to trail out the last few position shares that I have on this name. And I think this was the bottom on the day. I can't remember, but we'll see. TSLS, this is basically also Tesla, the same trade, looking for a low a day breakdown on Tesla. The main trade though was 260 breakdown, and if 260 actually broke down, that would have been a monster short, I believe. But the market needed to work for that. The market really needed to get absolutely slammed down, but it did not. But the 260 breakdown, if it sets up tomorrow with how weak the market is, we got to be ready for that one. Or the 110 breakdown on Nvidia, and if the market wants to break down from that, that's going to be an insane trade. But with how AVGO reported, that might not actually be a trade opportunity tomorrow, because AVGO might save Nvidia from having to break down below 110. We'll see if it does in the after hours or in the pre-market tomorrow. Okay, IPO, talked about this yesterday with you guys. 22 had an iceberg buyer, so I went long in front of 22. Stock was very, very thin, very low liquidity. Volume was thin. The book was thin. So I took very little size, got a quick little scalp for $1, got in again, got another quick 50 cents per share for the rest of my size. So basically got another $1 out of that position over there. And then later on, I wanted to go short below 22, but because of how illiquid the trade was, it didn't fill me to the downside. I crossed 10 cents on that breakdown, and I didn't get filled to the downside. Instantly, stock goes to 21 and pops right back up, and I actually get filled on the way back up. I get filled on the way back up on this name. I wonder how long I actually had. KMTS, was it? I wonder how long I actually had on that breakdown. So this is the 1 second chart, and you can see how it breaks down, goes to 21, and literally within the next few milliseconds, bop, 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 14, 15, 16, 17, 20. So you had about, is that 10 seconds each? Is that milliseconds? Milliseconds or seconds? I don't know how to read time anymore, but you can see how very, very illiquid. For example, if I show you Nvidia, the 1 second chart's actually readable, but I have to zoom out a little bit. And this is 1 second chart over here on Nvidia. It's actually readable, tradable even, maybe, if you are a crackhead enough to trade Nvidia on 1 second. Be my guest. Not my poison at all. Okay, so that's my trading on the day. Quick little summary again. I tilted, I FOMO'd, I tilted, lack of sleep, didn't make the right decisions, and I deserved to lose. Something that I was actually debating to do on my way into the office today was if I should be trading less shares. What's going on over here? If I should be trading less shares today overall because of my lack of sleep, because Lance talks about this, a bunch of people on Twitter talk about this too, about how sleep is very important to your trading and your performance, and how Lance actually sometimes, when he doesn't get enough sleep, he will actually do other work like coding or working on reading a book or watching YouTube video that talks about trading, and actually trying to improve his bobblehead and not just throwing his day away like I did. So I thought about that, but I still went to war, and obviously not good results. So that was something, an anecdotal note over there to myself, maybe to if next time you recognize that trigger, maybe actually do scale down on the size and actually even cut back and go code for the day. Like go work on your programs that you want to be you've been all talking about how you want to be using systems to trade with. So if you do, then go use AI and go code. So that's also an option that I always have on the table. I don't have to put myself in a trade. It's not, no one's forcing me to do that. So no point in doing that. Not being in a trade is actually a discipline that I also need to build. So a couple of things over there that next time I see that trigger happening, it might be tomorrow. If I'm staying up all night coding like I was today or yesterday, or playing with my Notion template like I was yesterday, then you want to make sure that you don't throw your day away tomorrow, or make sure that you actually go to bed early and get some sleep. Whatever it is that you are dealing with on your end, make sure that you are having the same type of reflective talk with yourself. The point of this stream is to show you how to potentially go through some of the ways to get profitable yourselves, but also me kind of being accountable to myself by talking to you guys, right? Kind of showing you my problems on a day-to-day, my successes on a day-to-day, and the journey that it takes to get to where I want to be, right? The journey that it takes to get to where we all might want to be. Some of you might already be there, like TH, for example. TH has made it. This has been an interesting conversation. I actually was reading this, about the President Trump's executive order for strategic Bitcoin, and looks like MSTR took a little bit of a hit off of that news. So obviously this is going to be in play a little bit. Gotta read this news more. So let's actually click this real quick. Explain this post through Grok. What is this? The executive order by President Trump to create a strategic executive reserve aligns with his campaign promises to position the U.S. as the crypto capital of the world, building on its administration efforts to foster cryptocurrency innovation, as outlined in January 2025 White House fact sheet. David Sachs, the White House AI and crypto Czar, is this called Czar? I don't know how to say that. Anyways, highlights the reserve uses a fortified Bitcoin estimate at 200,000 coins without taxpayer costs, and notes that the establishment of a U.S. digital asset stockpile for other seized digital assets managed by the Treasury Department. This move follows the White House Crypto Summit on the March 6th, which the industry leads. So why is this bad for? Okay, so what is this? Discuss the Bitcoin reserve amid estimate that premature government sale of Bitcoin have costed taxpayers over $17 billion in lost value. But overall, this is bad for my niece is going crazy. Budget neutral strategies for acquiring additional Bitcoin, provided those strategies have no incremental cost for American taxpayer. The government will not acquire additional assets for the stockpile beyond those obtained through forfeiture proceedings. So basically, like if you're a drug dealer and they seized your Bitcoin wallet, and that's your Bitcoin wallet, for example, Silk Road guy, they probably seized a bunch of Bitcoin from him, right? So if they got Bitcoin through illegal activities, then they're going to seize those Bitcoins, and those will be on the Bitcoin reserve. The government's actually not going to be using taxpayer money to buy Bitcoin. So it kind of ruins this whole theory that the quantitative easing, kind of people were relying on the government buying Bitcoin and shoving that into their books. That's actually not how it's going to be playing out. It's going to be that the government's going to just hold on to the Bitcoin that they were already holding on to, but this time they're just going to potentially take profits when they have maybe some sort of a vote through, because it says in previously that some of the profits were prematurely taken and it cost money. I'm sure they're just saying that because Bitcoin is like 100K, right? So obviously, if you calculate that, yeah, you can say that the taxpayers lost a lot of money through that. But end of the day, it's just kind of forfeited money. Not really forfeited. It's more commandeered money, basically, kind of money that they took from people that don't deserve that money in a way. So it makes sense. Overall, bad thing for Bitcoin, bad thing for MSTR, and I'm sure Bitcoin potentially taking a little bit of a beating off of that catalyst, right back to 84K, 85K on Bitcoin. So yeah, that move, dropping Bitcoin one more time and potentially moving it right back into the 200-day moving average again, and will be in play tomorrow. Thankfully, it's already on my watch list, and we'll see what type of positions we'll get to play. For now, you got MSTR already breaking 300. Shout out to my boy Valkyrie. If you haven't followed him yet, I've talked about him before. If you haven't followed him yet, go check him out. He drops amazing Sunday watch list posts. His watch list posts are by far the best. I read them every time, and some of my watch lists on the weekends are basically taken from him. So I love his watch list. Go check him out. Let's come to our watch list for tonight, though. Obviously, some of the stocks that we're going to be taking a look at are from the earnings board: AVGO, Costco, Gap, HPE, Samsara, Big Bear AI, and then some of the names that already reported for us throughout the week, such as JD, Marvell. I see you guys talking about KR, but I'm not looking at KR. There's no day trade on KR for me. BJ's, I didn't even look at BJ. Did it even pop to the 100 area? Oh, I forgot about BJ's. Damn it. All right, we'll put it on the watch list right now for tomorrow, because this one actually will be it's at all-time high, so I'm pretty interested anytime a stock goes to all-time high. We'll put it right below JD for now. BJ, almost forgot about that one. You guys said Kroger. Let me just quickly go take a look at this one, and if it's in previous ranges, which I expect it to be in, oh, it's also at all-time highs though, so that does change my opinion a little bit. But wasn't this stock about to get bought out, and then and then the deal fell out, and now all of a sudden it's in a revolutionary change, and it's going to completely turn around and start breaking the all-time high of 6666 price? So like, am I really going to care about this trade that much? It's a $66 name trading 12 million shares on earning with a 6 million share volume average. So as a day trade, I really don't think I care about Kroger tomorrow. Yeah, nah, I don't care about it. BJ's though, kind of in the same basket as Kroger's for me, but this one, broke out and actually had a pretty good move. So as long as this one has some decent pullback and long opportunity, I'm interested for a quick attempt on a long there. But most of my attention tomorrow is gonna go to Costco, is gonna go to AVGO. Tell me Costco went higher. Nope, Costco got slammed right back to the downside. BBAI, let's go check out how some small cap names are doing. Small cap name now at $4. Even this one is getting body slammed at the moment. Looks like some of the small cap names like BKSY, that one's supposed to report yikes, BKSY getting slammed off its earnings report. Yeah, so some of the big theme names that were high flying theme names, after they reported, they got body slammed. However, Rigetti, RGTI, did not break 7 the way I wanted it to, so I did not trade it at all. I was pretty disciplined on that one. I said I only wanted to short the stock under $7. It did not get under 7. I did not have to trade that name at all. So very simply walked away from this one, and not on my watch list for tomorrow either, because it's not really setting up for the short side that I want to trade, and the company's absolutely bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. All right, let's go start off with looking at the earnings reports. AVGO, we got first one on the board. AVGO, where is the report? Should be that link. Is it that link? Is it this one? This one? Really? There you go. What the heck? Q1 14.92 versus 14.61, 1.60 versus 1.49. Revenue up 25% year over year, driven and strengthened AI and semiconductor. Broadcom generated 60. If I remember correctly, Broadcom has a really good daily level that it could break out of too. So I'm very interested. But the current market environment doesn't really scream breakout longs, does it? All right. AI semiconductor solutions and infrastructure software, blah, 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 showing growth, 77% in AI revenue, software revenue, 47%, Hawk, there you go, Hawk 10, that's his name. We expect to see continued growth in AI, obviously, who wouldn't say that? Outlook coming in for 14.9 to 14 versus 14.76, so beating Outlook. The company anticipates first quarter to approximately be 66% of projected revenue. That's the EBITDA. So overall, the revenue is a beat. It's a guided upbeat. Not seeing anything about EPS or anything on the other side of the guidance over there. And from what I know, the stock actually made a nice pop in the after hours. And that is a daily level that I was talking about to see if we can get a breakout from. Nice little drop into the 200-day moving average with the rest of the market. And now, whew, nice pop off of that earnings move, and actually a secondary pop afterwards, potentially an earnings call pop over there, and then holding above the earnings VWAP. So pretty simple $200 area that you're potentially watching on this name. That's going to be the inflection zone tomorrow. Depends obviously if the market's going to be in our favor for the long side or against our favor for the long side, but based on this earnings report, I'm seeing growth across the board. I'm seeing upbeat guidance. I'm seeing a 200-day moving average bounce. All things are just looking good for me for the long side. So let's see if this stock sets up with the good support above 200. Today, I'm actually going to put it in my notes so I don't get sidetracked tomorrow. If stock above 200, I like the longs. And then at that point, all I have to do is wait for a real setup. BBAI, small cap name, and I don't really think I care about it that much. Costco reporting negative, really. Looks like they missed on EPS slightly. They beat revenue, however, very little. But did they grow or not is the main question. I'm expecting they did. Let's go take a look at it. Up 9.1% year over year. There you go. Net sales up 9.1%. Comparable stores up 8.3%. 4.6 in Canada, 1.7 in other international segments. Total comparables climbed by 6.8%. Total e-commerce increased by 20%. Guidance up. Where's guidance? Don't really see. Okay, operates 897, including 617 in the US. Okay, blah 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 blah. I guess I'm not really seeing the guidance at the moment, but from what I see, growth. I see growth across the board on Costco, but sadly, growth is not being reflected on the stock market for the stock at the moment. It is $1,000 name. You got to remember that. And with how current market environment, it makes sense if Costco wants to, sell off a little bit. Do I want to fight the longs? Not really. It's also a really expensive name with very little volume, so the spread's going to be ugly. So just might be one of those names that I just don't touch tomorrow. I don't have to trade it, right? I can look at it and have fun watching it tomorrow, but I just don't have to take a look at that name tomorrow or trade that name tomorrow at all. So Costco, not on my watch list for a day trade. GAP, watching this one. Oh, okay, GAP. At first, I love the fact that they changed their ticker. That's the first good thing about this name. And now the second good thing is that pop in the after hours. Sadly, that's all they have, because if you look on the daily chart, it's not exciting at all for a trade for me. It's like there's so much headroom on the stock where it has to fight through that I don't want to be involved in this battle. Like, why do I want to pick this battle to the upside when there's just so many levels that the stock can go and find rejection at? So there is a pop. You're right back into last month's high. So January high, February high. Sorry, I almost forgot we're in March now. So you're almost into February high here. You possibly can get above February high and have a little bit of a room into 26 or whatever. But this is already a big enough of a pop, not like 30% pop. Anything above that, I'm not really expecting the stock to have sustaining power in the very same day. So potentially seeing some rejection off of this 2350 area first. If that rejects, that also happens to be an anchor VWAP. Is that an anchor VWAP? Where does that come from? I can't find it anymore. It just disappeared all of a sudden. Guessing that was an earnings VWAP, so that's potentially the previous earnings VWAP. Is that like, why was that so weird? Yeah, I guess it was the previous earnings VWAP. Yeah. Right. So you're also going into the previous earnings VWAP. So you got a little bit of a struggle area. If you do get above 2350 and show me buying above 2350, then there is a potential trade to the upside for me. But that is going to be the resistance for on watch, 2350 to 2360. to see if GAP can get above. If it does, show me buying. If stock can get above 2350 and build support, can look long. And build support means like, you know, like a good 15-minute pattern, like it's holding for 15 minutes long on a 5-minute pattern or something like that. Okay, GAP. HPE is the next one on board. Oh, wow. HPE getting slammed today. $14? Really? Oh, really? Man, that's crazy. Let's throw in some lines on the daily chart real quick. Yikes. Okay. Now where are we? Ooh, we're 2 lines down. We're 2 lines down and we got 2 more lines to the south side. That's actually a pretty decent drop. So we are into that bottom over there from March 2024. March 2024 earnings low getting tested at the moment near $14. That's actually a pretty decent drop. That's a 20% move to the south side on HPE. Let's go take a look at this report. I'm interested. I'm very interested to see what they said in the report that dropped them that drastically. Let's continue reading. 49 cents per share, which is in line with estimates. 7.85 billion, which beat estimates of 7.82, which is also an increase from same period last year of 6.75. The company reported annualized revenue run rate revenue run rate of 2.1 billion, up 46% from prior year, and consistent blah 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 blah. Why do they drop? I'm seeing growth everywhere. What is this? Down 680 basis points from same period last year and down 150 basis points sequentially. That's gross margin. Maybe that's why, because their margins are dropping. HPE achieved our 4th consecutive quarter year-over-year revenue growth, increasing by double digits. I'm practically proud of the exciting innovation we introduced. Particularly proud. I was like, why would it say practically? Particularly proud in our innovation we introduced in the quarter, which was met with our customer enthusiastic and blah blah blah. Do we got a outlook? We do have an outlook. Revenue to be in the range of 7.2 to 7.6 versus 7.9. That is a big, whoa, that's a big drop in EPS. Also, EPS estimate was 50 cents. They basically guided almost 50% lower. Not really 50%, but they're guiding 28 to 34 cents. So they're missing on the revenue. They're missing on this. And if I read correctly, their gross margins of 29% are now down 150 basis points. So, oh, I'm just gonna wish my niece good night. I'll be back. Ah, my niece. She's so cute. Alright. HPE. So watching this one, obviously. Big slam to the downside. Guided lower. Possibly setting up for some sort of a MDB type of situation where you know, you don't think that MDB actually breaks below this low, but MDB actually stays weak below that area the whole day. and actually, like does a ton of volume below that area. So you might want to keep an eye out for HPE. It might actually get below 14 tomorrow, might stay weak below 14. It's not below 14 right now, but at least you know that on pops it's not staying green, right? On pops it's gonna get sold off, so HPE might just be the highest priority tomorrow, especially if the market's red. If the market's gapping down, HPE is gonna already be down, possibly at $13, at $11. I wouldn't doubt it. And then any pop on this name, you kind of just want to look to see if sellers are still offloading their position. Some of the people who are caught off guard, just make sure my earrings are still on, because sometimes my dog likes to rip my earrings off my ear when I'm playing with them. So you want to make sure that sellers are still there, obviously. But in my opinion, with the way the stock is going, with the guided lower, we're actually opening up some real sellers coming in very soon tomorrow. I don't have a crystal ball. Nobody has a crystal ball, but for the most part, I'm looking for shorts. Highest priority short. Look for pops to short into. So I am very interested on this name. Let me just quickly put some levels in. Currently you have that $14 area. Pre-market will be very indicative. Obviously, if the market gaps down in pre-market, that will obviously be very indicative on this name. So I'm so excited for this short. Let's go, Prad. But hopefully I don't ruin it for myself on this stock. I love shorting stocks. I'm like a crackhead when it comes to it. As for the resistance, for now, I don't think the stock is getting above 16. You almost have every $1 area. ATR is 72 cents, and I think ATR tomorrow easily goes up to $2 to $3. With you can expect like 40-50 million shares coming into volume tomorrow. So look out for tons of volume, lots of activity. Every dollar is basically a range on this name: 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the same thing on the downside too. So every dollar is a range, and you're just basically looking to see how stock plays out in these little ranges. Are these boxes getting respected, and are they getting sold off? IoT Samsara around their 200-day moving average, but off the earnings report actually selling off a little bit. Looks like they reported kind of in line, but what matters more to me is, are they growing or not, and how are they guiding? So let's quickly go take a look at that. Represented 33% growth year over year. Great. Samsara outlook coming in EPS between 5 to 6 cents versus 5 cents estimates. So also beating by a little bit, just by 1 cent. And revenue in the range of 350 to 352 versus 351. Inline estimates overall. Inline results. Market just said, you know what, we don't care about this report at the moment. We're just gonna kind of sell it off below the support zone. So pretty good support zone if you look at it. It's also right around that 200-day moving average pocket. So it's almost a very easy, not almost, it is a very easy under over trade if the stock is below 48. Under over, for those of you wondering why I keep looking over here, I'm typing it in my notes. Let me just zoom down or scroll down for you guys. IoT under over 42. If stock can stay below 42, short all pops. So pretty simple trade, but if it reclaims 42 tomorrow, there's just no more shorting. Okay, so you got to make sure that you know on the other side of the game too. You're not only planning for what you want to see and then you force that trade. I'm talking to myself here. JD going down the watch list. We're already at JD. I love it. Today's earnings watch list is going much quicker. We actually have a bunch of you guys talking in over here, but most of the time Michael, Anthony, and Victor are talking to themselves, so I kind of just let them do their thing. But let me scroll up over here. Zim, yes, Momo calling out Zim. Zim did move quite a bit today. We got John Vaughn in the house. What's up, baby? How you doing, Johnny boy? Healthcare is the best performing sector for investors. Semiconductors are killing investors. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, I mean, semiconductors obviously have not been good right now. Michael. Okay, he's talking to Michael. He's talking to Michael. then I just kind of scroll past all that, no light, no let up in sight, no let up. I'm guessing you're talking about HPE. No upside move in sight. This market is a major downtrend. Margin investors and hedge fund investors getting killed. That they are. It doesn't look like their buyers are winning at the moment. There is a seller and they are offloading crazy at the moment. They are using every single pop to just offload. No retail stocks for me. US stores are finished short. Old Letterman top 10 gap opening stores in hell. Those 10 stores are everywhere. You're saying gap stores? They're everywhere. I mean, I guess it makes sense why it gapped up, right? Did it gap up? Okay, I did gap up. All those shares of HLF have been moving up. I remember you calling out HLF before. I did have an alert on this name, did I? Yes, I had an alert on this name. Looks like it might have just triggered. Like, this is like a no volume name. I'm for sure not going to trade this tomorrow. So if it goes, it goes. Congratulations to you because you got the breakout. But I'm for sure not going to trade this tomorrow. So I'm just going to delete from my watch list. But looks like as a swing trade, as a quick little swing trade, there could be some upside into $12, $13 or so. So HLF, wait, this is Herbalife? I'm never looking at the name again. JD, we kind of talked about that one. I honestly don't know what to do anymore because 44 was the level. Stock got above 44 and then it got slammed back down. So yeah, you could say there's supports over here, 42.50, 44. You could find buying in this area, but I kind of just don't care anymore. I was like, why not just go up and be on an insane rally? But I guess Baba rejected from 145. That was a pretty good short opportunity. You had FXI that struggled to stay above 37, so that was a clear signal that JD did not want to stay green today. So I'm just kind of annoyed that JD was a trade that I was waiting for like so many days before the earnings report for that level to break, and when it broke, it was like a nothing burger trade. So a little bit upsetting for me. BJ, let's talk about BJ. Beautiful move off the earnings move day one. Looking for some sort of a day two activity. Stocks like these could be, if you're looking for an example, OKTA is a good example for day two. You can see how it just blasts off to the upside. SE for a day two. This was day one. This is day two over here. Blasts off to the upside. And BJ is actually at an all-time high. So that makes it, good, interesting name for us to keep an eye on. And this breakout was also, kind of a clean breakout. Usually these breakouts have an inside day the next day, but if the next day doesn't end up with an inside day, you could get a good SE type of move on the stock. So we'll be watching priority kind of in the orange basket at the moment. You have the 109. Is it 109? Earnings VWAP is actually at 109, but that area is 108. So earnings VWAP possibly at 111 on the 5-minute. It depends on what time frame you look at, but 108 is kind of the important area. If the stock is not above 108, then you might want to be careful for the long sides. As long as above 108, I like longs. Baba, big reject on Baba from the 145, and volume obviously dying down immediately. So Baba did have a good day yesterday, but big reject. FXI kind of having a failed breakout. Nothing wrong with putting Baba on the watch list, but I just don't have a clear trade plan on it. So no thoughts at the moment on that trade. MDB, yes sir, you were a pain in my butt today, but you actually ended up breaking 200 later on, or like 198, 200, whatever. VWAP is at 202. Gonna be low liquidity. Clearly bearish the way it's trading. If it pops up and stays below 200 on the pop, I might be interested on the short. So I'll give it a priority color. I'll put it a little bit of a higher priority than usual, which is blue or black color for me. So if it is getting a pop into 200 and showing me some reject, I might be interested for a shot. If stock can pop into 200 and fail, I'll be interested for shorts. MRVL, very weak today. After that report, I just don't get why it's so weak. But you know, can't fight what the market says. The market says we hate the stock, or we hate the report at the very least. I honestly don't have any play. Maybe AVGO actually gives it a little bit of a rescue tomorrow, but from the current candle, I kind of don't really have a play. You could look for a breakout above today's high, a breakdown below today's low. You have the inside range today to play with. So many opportunities over there on MRVL, but if you ask me, AVGO is kind of going to be the more important stock on the day in the semiconductor basket, and NVIDIA is going to be the important stock on the day in the semiconductor basket than MRVL for me. So those are going to be the ones that distract me in the semiconductor names. CrowdStrike having a good inside day, rejecting exactly from yesterday's high, which is the earnings day high. So beautiful rejection from the earnings day high on the day 2. Let me actually put it in my notes that I have to write the stock up. CrowdStrike, because that is just classic. That is wonderful, beautiful short, top to down, almost get a full reject on that position. Full reject meaning it moved from yesterday's high to almost to yesterday's low. So that's kind of what you want to see. I think we're gonna get a move right back into the 200-day moving average tomorrow, especially if the market's weak. So that's about a $10 drop on a stock that's ATRs at $20. So potentially into the 200-day moving average and a little bit more past that. So watching CrowdStrike without a doubt to see if we can get some action on this one. Let me just color that. SE day 1, day 2, day 3. I don't know if there's a day 4. This is also not all-time high. Yeah, I'm just not that keen on forcing a trade on a stock on the day 4. So I'm just gonna have to ignore it. ASTS day 2 clear reject of this area. So not really giving us the juice that I wanted to see to go into 40 bucks. But nothing wrong with having it on the watch in case it does get activated a little bit. If it does get back above 34 and stays strong above 34, I think this one still has a chance to get to 40. But right now, I'm going to put my alert around 40, so I'll be ready for when it gets there. Either I short this $40 area, or I get to go long through the $40 area. So it's on my watch list, but kind of in the shadow realms at the moment. And now, let's go to the large cap. NVIDIA. You can see how big of a bounce it's been having off this 110 all day today. Well, only like a couple candles on the 5-minute really, but monster hold of the 110 area, because 110 had a big buyer sitting there parked and not letting the stock get under it. Market was also holding its end to be fair, right? Market really wasn't breaking to the downside, but if NVIDIA gives me that opportunity to get short on that 110 breakdown, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be probably doomsday for NVIDIA and for the rest of the market, at least for the day that it happens. Now keep in mind, tomorrow is Friday, it's options day, gamma walls, it could be a big put wall, it could be a big options pegging day, it could be a free fall Friday, it could be a free climb Friday. I don't know what day it is. I don't have the crystal ball, and if I did, trust me, I wouldn't be sitting here streaming to you. I'd be making millions of dollars for myself and keeping my crystal balls to myself. But Nvidia, very interested to see how this 110 area plays out. I'm just praying to God that it doesn't break in the overnight markets and the after hour market slash pre-market and so on, where I don't get to play with this big buyer on the breakdown, or play with the big buyer on the hold, so I can go long if there is a long over there too. So a couple opportunities that I want to be interested in. Just watching Nvidia 110. Tesla is another one, 260. Tesla gets below 260, it's the same idea as Nvidia, so very important level. Keep that one on the watch list. For example, today it was Amazon at 200. Amazon breaking 200, and that's set up for a good little short opportunity going into the close. But Amazon real level that kind of relates to what is it, to Tesla and Nvidia. The real levels around 197. 197.43, 197.50. So you want to watch for Amazon around that area. Apple, let's go check out AAPL. Notice how I'm only watching for the downside, because the market goes up, you can basically go long anything. All of these stocks have gotten beaten down so much. Like Tesla is at or below its 200-day moving average. Nvidia at or below its 200-day moving average. Amazon at or below its 200-day moving average. So if the market's actually getting back to the north side and holding its end, just pick a stock, go long, have fun. That's all I'm gonna say to you. But if the stock market is going down, you want to be ready with the basket of stocks that you want to attack to the short side, and these are the names that I'm going to be looking to play with. Meta is another one. That one obviously a little spready, and it actually has some room to the 200-day moving average. So 623 over here on Meta to keep an eye on. 623. You could even say even $620 really to kind of keep an eye on. Microsoft and Google don't really excite me as much when it comes to these trade ideas. Because they're just like boomer names, institutionals. Also, like Amazon, Google are also institutional owns and so on. It's just they're just boomer names. I just don't care about trading them as much. Obviously, with the whole cryptocurrency news, now that we know that the government is not going to be buying Bitcoin with actual money, that means the expected liquidity that was supposed to go to Coinbase or Hood or whatever is not gonna be there anymore. The government money, the taxpayers' money is not gonna show up randomly into their transactions as they thought that it would. So that's gonna hurt them, and obviously it's going to hurt Michael Saylor, because he was kind of doubling down and banking that cryptocurrency. He's gonna be able to watch the government turn cryptocurrency into, I don't know what his goals are, but probably his goal is to turn cryptocurrency into the currency of the world. Not gonna happen, right? The currency of the world. So that's kind of failing a little bit, because they're actually not going to put their own money. Like what, El Salvador has actually been putting real money into the market, but the U.S. government, as of now at least, is not going to put real money into the market. So that's a loss of expected liquidity. So obviously all of these news catalysts are not good for cryptocurrency stocks. IBIT, MSTR, COIN. MSTR already below 300 in the after hours over here. Potentially will move right back into 230 area tomorrow, and if this 230 area breaks starting next week, that will be some insane opportunity there. I am so excited for this current market. Just got to be able to trade right, think right, act right, and you just got so much money in front of you to capitalize on right now. Palantir. If Palantir gets below that, it is time for Palantir to start crying a little bit. So put that one on the watch list, or as Sean said on the stream Monday, put that in your pipe and smoke it, and you get high as shit. So if you are interested in that, put this on your pipe and smoke it, and you can get high as shit by getting a short on Palantir below 78.50. LUNR. LUNR. Yeah, this one was a big move, obviously. I'm not sure if the rover actually landed or did not land, but after hours we're at $7. So any pop into this $11, 11.15 tomorrow, it's a no-brainer short on LUNR. I'm not even gonna think twice. If this stock pops into 11 tomorrow, it's just a free short for me. So keep an eye out for LUNR. If stock pops into 11, free shorts in my opinion, but stock should stay under 10 for a better short. Technically, because if it's going all the way back to you know, 11, then it's almost like, wait, why are the buyers so aggressive? What do they know that we don't? But the 10 to 11 will be the zone that I kind of want to watch out for. Palantir, I said if stock below support and market weak, I love the short. Netflix had a little bit of a beatdown today. Netflix, I guess you could say the whole market along with Netflix. What is that? Get rid of these. Along with the whole market, Netflix kind of got cracked to the downside today. So making its descent. If Netflix rejects on any pops, there could be some shorts over here. But it's not in play name. It does have a good amount of volume, but just not an in play name. Ooh, what the... Holy, the stock is still going down. This is not even a stock I wanted to pull up, but that is actually insane. Look at the continued selling on this name after the earnings report. That is actually wild. Potentially could open up for some sort of a really good mean reversion down the line if the stock just keeps going lower and lower and lower and lower. You know, look at that, right? It just keeps going on a multi-day down streak. Eventually sets up for a quick little long trade somewhere, but it's a low price stock. Probably gives you $1 per share trade. Anyways, the stock that I wanted to pull up is not this one. It was APP, not AAP. APP, AppLovin, breaking down again and bringing some volume behind that breakdown. So that short report shenanigans on this name still causing it some pain and keeps going lower. So obviously on the watch list, if this one pops back up into 280, 300 area, I'll be interested to see if there's any short opportunities on pops into these names on APP. VG, another earnings name. 50% drop over like 30% drop or something, 36% drop. I mean, that's nuts. This is also a recent earnings name and actually brought in a ton of volume. So recent recent IPO name, reported earnings and absolutely got body slammed off of that earnings report. So wah is all we can say at the moment. If any pop, I guess is just a no-brainer short. I don't even have to kind of look at the report at the moment. If it pops into 10, I'm interested to see if I can short this name. I think it gap closes. Does it gap close? If stock rejects 10, I like short. But where is the gap close? Gap close is much higher, so technically it should reject 10. If it doesn't reject 10, it could just not be a short at all to begin with, so you might want to be careful. Has it also been 180 days since IPO? It's been 41 days since IPO, so not even what's it called? What's the term for that? IPO lockup period. So it's not even IPO lockup period and the stock is getting beat down the way it is. My goodness. All right. Okay, QQQ. Let's take a look at the overall market. As I said, this market is very, very scary at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. And it has a chance to really hurt some people if it wants to break down over here. So take a look at the S&P 500. Take a look at the QQQ. What the heck is this? Take a look at the S&P 500. Take a look at the QQQ. And if they break these most recent lows, today's lows, basically, they open up some downside. This is the Dow Jones over here, which is still not at the 200-day moving average, but I guess this could be your barometer. If the Dow Jones gets below 423.85 and stays below that, that could be the possible trigger for you know, the market to be really weak and start going to the downside. Not that they are correlated in an extreme manner that way, but you know, something is holding back at the moment, and I'm not able to pinpoint actually what stock, what market, what sector is, you know, holding up the market from really plummeting to the downside. But you know, QQQ is in a bear market now, right? 10% down, officially in a bear market. Volatility up, right? Volatility only one direction it knows, and it is currently up. Let's quickly mark that. That's 2273. Let's see if volatility can get above it. That's COVID volatility. No, that's not COVID volatility. I think I remember COVID volatility being in 60s. Yeah, that's COVID volatility right there. This is your August recession volatility, which is at 37. That would be fun. Let's get up there. Let's get some fun volatility in the market, ladies and gentlemen. But that is basically your overall market overview for tonight. My watch list for tonight or for tomorrow. Hopefully you found some levels over there, and also saw some ideas that you potentially want to deploy for your own trading. But sadly, that is the end of the stream. Quick take a look at the economic calendar. Non-pharma payrolls, somewhat of a decently active Friday, because usually Friday starts to end off around 10 o'clock. But you also have Fed members tomorrow talking, like Fed Powell. You got the monetary policy report, whatever the hell that is, coming out at 11 o'clock. Fed member Williams talking at 10:14. Fed member Bowman at 10:15. Then a bunch of econ numbers at 8:30. So you got a bunch of stuff happening. U.S. president speaks at 1:30. So this is a absolutely news-driven, volatile market that you have to be ready for. Trump talks every day. There's comments coming out every day. There's stuff being talked about, tariffs and monetary policies every day. You can get offside very quickly. So make sure that you are using tools such as Squawk, you know, Twitter. The way I stay on top of my news so I don't get caught offside: A, I use stops, but B, I listen to a Benzinga Squawk all day. Benzinga Squawk is one of the best tools out there that you can potentially use to you know, stay ahead of the game and not get caught offside. So go check out that awesome software. I use it for earnings reports and listen to Squawk. But besides that, you also have a bunch of amazing tools such as scanners, charting, looking at heat maps, talking to an actual group of people who are pro traders. You know, I think some of the big names on Twitter are actually in this chat, and they are fairly active in these chats. So you can go like such as Anne Marie Bain. I don't know how to say her name. I'll probably ruin it. But there's you know, conversations over here that you can go check out in chat groups. So make sure that you're using the right tools for the right task, or you're gonna get caught offside. Another tool I use is Trader Sync. I use this to track my trading statistics. Flash Research to do back testing and to find statistics on stocks. Trade Ideas to get scans and alerts on stocks. So, you know, use the right tools for the right jobs, and that's how you get a clean garden, baby. A good garden. Sadly, my garden is absolutely whack, and this winter is not going to help my garden. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of the stream. I'm going to go make some dinner, and I'll catch you guys next week. It's your boy Prad. Ka-chow. That's going to be my new saying. Yes, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to steal it from Lightning McQueen. I'm going to go with ka-chow. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Today, so pretty good moves across the board. Tech basket. Get destroyed. Get ready for trade off of. Get ready for the watch list for tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna bring
another brand new week of After the After Hours with your host TraderPrad. I'm doing great. Hopefully you guys are joining me on that great side. Markets are moving around. Might just be a risk on type of day, so let's see what happens. 8 o'clock tomorrow. As you guys know, we do the stream Monday to Thursday, 8 p.m. Shout out to my affiliate sponsors, Benzinga, Trade Ideas, the #1 scanner to go to, Trader Sync, promo code down below, promo code PRAD15 to get 15% off. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Until then, TraderPrad out. Adios.